that's the channel name. From the digital dome, we ain't playing no game. We got a crew of knowledge sharp, ready to attack. Laying down the foundation, ain't no turning back. First up on the track, the mastermind on the mix. He's cooking up the facts, no room for dirty tricks. It's the DOA hit squad, y'all only origin. We bring in the fire, watch the history begin. From the scrolls to the stars, the wisdom we share. Science, history, Torah, put your hands in the air. We break down the lies, expose the fraud and the fable. Truth on the table, DOA is forever stable. Yeah, give it up for Eric, the mad scientist. Yeah, that's his title. Dropping formulas, making knowledge vital. He's in the lab with the facts, dissecting the fiction, proving the theory with accurate depiction. Then you got the wisdom in your shipping, your rallying, packing the ancient text, no need for the shallow. Word is bond, understanding is the only mission. Breaking down the scriptures with pure recognition. Hold up, pay attention, listen close to the flow. The foundational truth, that's what we aim to show. We got smash idol and Baker Torah, standing firm and tall. It's Torah only, I only answering the righteous call. We dig deep in the archives, we study every source, confirming the record, setting the proper course. It's the DOA hit squad, y'all only origin. We bring in the fire, watch the history begin. From the scrolls to the stars, the wisdom we share. Science, history, Torah, put your hands in the air. We break down the lies, expose the fraud and the fable. Truth on the table, DOA is forever stable. Yeah, you ready for the knowledge? You ready for the heat? Subscribe, hit the bell, can't be beat. It's the DOA hit squad. Hit squad. Hey, hey. DOA hit squad. Hey, DOA hit squad. Stay tuned. Peace. How's you?
Peace, peace, peace. What's up, brother? The mad scientist.
Yeah.
Yes, man. It's time we ante up. Brother, be truthful. They need to ante up. We don't really need to do anything. We're gonna keep what we've been saying all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's been going on? I know I've seen a lot of things. You've been seeing showing me a lot of things.
Yeah. Just
That and really.
yeah, the same old people trying to attack, like people slickly watching the show, thing they've been doing.
hmm
Yeah, I got some old other stuff we got to talk about on another show. Well, we'll just see Morpheus do something, and they feel like they just destroyed the Bible, so we gonna rebuild it then since they destroyed it.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be something easy, Street, but we are gonna
Yeah,
listen to it.
yeah,
Yeah, I know since basically since really yesterday really. I mean, it ain't even all that serious. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like did we do the show yesterday or was it the day before?
I think it was yesterday.
Uh, no,
Yeah,
it was the
no,
day before
no,
because
it
we
was the
was
day
on for
before
like
yesterday. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
because
the
it
day
was
before
almost
yesterday.
almost like 5 hours. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And you're right. People looked at stealing shit, taking shit. Sneaky grab and go. I know.
yeah,
It's all good. But it's funny. I see Sebastian Allo up in the house. I want him to hop on. Definitely, I need him to hop up on here. You know what I'm saying? Because he's involved in this too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. What the thing is, right? I'm concerned about when I looked at what I said about the LaShawn Hakadesh, however they want to pronounce it, or the Labashawn, Quadash, right?
yeah,
I mean, I looked into both sides of the situation, and I heard really, really from all point of views, right? And the bottom line of it is just like the way it's supposed to mean, Lashawn and Hakadesh, holy tongue. You know what I'm saying? No matter how
yeah,
you mix it up, twist it up, flip it, slap it, whatever you want to do, it's supposed to be the holy tongue. Now, to say which one and whatever other ones that pop up afterwards is the holy tongue, that's nonetheless, because guess what? That's not really the point, of the Hebrew scriptures to begin with, or the Hebrew language to begin with. So they
yeah,
need to stop. They need to stop. Which I wasn't really concerned about that anyway, because even like with different people's perspective of it, and I kind of see that. But my problem though, I have that really draw the line is the questioning and like basically when I say a person like me, and there's other people like me too, and there's others, that I'm not really too concerned deeply about the language portion, of the translations and all that and this and that and all this garbage that they try to push and pull with. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something. I'm going to always stick by the rules. It's the context that's important. You know what I'm saying? Language is important, but the context, regardless of it, because you can get a horse if you if you train them to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Just like we have tools to do things at work, we have tools to decipher. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's just a gift. How much tools you got, the better for you. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that's what I'm basically saying. I use the tools of the trade to get my translations correct. I don't need to actually you know know exactly word for word what is written because you know what, none of us got the actual you know what you call original manuscripts. Like I said, I keep saying it, the original autographs were destroyed,
yeah,
you can't get around that. So what you're going to have is like somebody's interference or tampering or whatever you want to call that influence scripts. You know what I'm saying? It's going to all be, that's the way it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Whether you go back to the original one, the original like oldest source that we can get, which is like the Leningrad, or you go to like something 2026 that's coming out by one of the guys who thinking they can rewrite these scriptures all over again. And no
yeah,
matter what you do, you still have to understand the context of
yeah,
whatever is written down. If you translate it into Spanish, and if I can speak Spanish, guess what? I'm still going to be able to comprehend what I need to comprehend from the language that I'm dealing with, in which,
yeah,
native, I'm native to English. So I
yeah.
need everything to be,
I mean,
for
because
me to,
I'm gonna say I was a person, right? Because like I said earlier, I think I'm not saying everybody, but I think, and I ain't speaking on one specific person because I don't want nobody to think I'm talking about them. But
no, no, you don't have to say
I,
no names.
yeah, so I think I'm saying I think a lot of people who learn the language, um, I think they use it in the same form that people use degrees.
Hmm.
I think when the time get tight or when they back get against the corner or they want to just try to shut you up and don't feel like they don't want to try to discredit you, they start using all of this language. If you don't know this, you can't speak on it, or if you
Hmm.
ain't got this degree, you shouldn't be talking about this. But
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
and I don't agree, and I never agree with that. And anybody that ever talk to me understands that I don't agree with that. That I research and study just as hard as you do, and
Hmm.
I can comprehend, and that's what I said. That's the main thing to me: comprehending, understanding, the context. Like you said, I agree with that. As long as I understand, because I used to think when I was coming in, oh, I got to learn this Hebrew because it's so different and this and this and that. But what I'm saying is not different. I'm starting to learn there's not really too much different. Maybe the words are a little different, but it's not like what I was saying about Satan. Now I
Hmm.
understood Satan was adversary. I understand it was a person or a nation, but that didn't. When you translate into the English is actually saying the same thing. It's just the doctrine and the teaching that they put around the verse.
Hmm.
It's
Key,
not the
key word there is
translation
doctrine. It's
per se.
doctrine. That's right.
Yeah, it's not the translation of me going into the Hebrew helped me understand that this not is what it means, but it didn't change from the English because when I started reading it in the English and I understood it was adversary, the verses was telling me that's what it was saying. It's just the
Hmm.
context of what you understood Satan to be because what you was taught in doctrine, not
Hmm.
really language. Because if Christianity would have told me it was adversary, I would have been understood when I read these verses that this wasn't talking about a being; it was actually talking about enemy or something like that that was against Israel. You see what I'm saying? So it's not
Hmm.
like the me learning Satan was adversary changed the whole verse. It just maybe it gave me a better understanding of the verse.
Hmm. Hmm. And it's funny how they when they can't win on one way, they come up with another path, and they think that's gonna really
Yeah,
work. Throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna do, right? Like you see what the title up here is,
I
and
mean,
yeah,
let's be for real too. People
mm,
getting, I mean, people getting paid for this shit. People getting paid for sitting back and teaching somebody Hebrew and because that's
mm-hmm.
why they have to say this.
Yeah, no, no. Listen, I'm gonna tell you from the door. Ain't nothing wrong with seeking to learn the language. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
yes, it would help you when it comes down to being more, I guess, familiar with, the whole culture, if you want to say it like that. But,
Yeah,
being familiar with the whole culture also includes that the fact that we're scattered. Okay, so when you're scattered, guess what? You getting a feeling of now you had a loss of what you had as your culture to begin with. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So now you taking on other people's culture. Now the trick is with this. Now you still gotta be, you still gotta be Israel, right?
yeah,
Even though you in captivity, you still gotta be Israel, right? Matter of fact, you can't even speak. You're not allowed to speak your language. That's how the laws are. Now, what you gonna do then? You're not even allowed to have any of the the, the secret, what you call, not secret, but more like divine instruments that you would be normally accustomed to using if you was in your own land and everything was,
yeah,
steady. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. You still gotta be Israel. You still gotta be Israel. You gotta work with whatever you can work with. Okay. But the funny thing is, every one of these guys that seem to think they can, use that as a tactic to make themselves look like they're better, I guess, better Hebrew or whatever, better Israel, whatever they want to call themselves. I don't even care anymore about the title. You know what I'm saying? I'm a child of the Most High. That's the way I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's what we should concern ourselves about. Even the ones that play the name of, I don't really want to get into that crap because it's just crap. Because nobody knows. If you want to be truthful about it, with the way, all the captivities that we went through, okay, a lot of that is lost. You know what I'm saying? But the
yeah,
main thing is, I want to see one of those, the big, I call it the big wigs, come up on here, right? And get on this a nice, fair, even situation, and let's discuss the scriptures themselves. Whatever, however he want to use his version of it, I have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to you want to do it in Aramaic, I have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't have that problem. But let's actually sit there and actually break it down as if we are those people. And I guarantee you, all that shit that they think they know, I guarantee you they're gonna fail when it comes to me on that, especially with the context. And I'm not just saying for myself to put myself up there. There's a lot of us that could really do this. You know what I'm saying? Just
yeah,
context alone.
yeah,
But see, they throw that out there because guess what? That throws a curveball that makes them look like, good. So guess what? We got to take whatever they're saying, is what it is, and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's like I said, I think it's from the old teaching of they feel like you have to learn this because it gives them it gives them something to say that I'm a leader in something. I got students. They get paid from it, and like I said, that's fine. That's fine with me. But I don't like people telling me that I can't understand the Bible just because I don't know the language. And I don't think that's right because I've learned a lot of stuff. I've taught a lot of stuff. A lot of people learned from me from finding stuff. I've defended
Hmm.
a lot of stuff from when people came and put up verses and shit and showed it, and I used the English and I break it down. I might use some Hebrew, but I break it down in the English.
Hmm. It's it's funny though. Like they would actually believe that is their that's their defense. I gotta say, because it ain't their offense. Because we tear their offense down, but that's
Yeah,
their defense. But yeah, like
I mean, just
like
like when I found Lucifer, right? When I found out myself that Lucifer was the king of Babylon, that shit didn't
mhm,
come from me breaking down Hebrew.
nope,
That came from
nope.
me literally reading the verse. Because I learned this. A lot of people just pick verses. And I learned that from the camps. A lot they jump verses. So one day I heard Sarnetta talking about Lucifer. Well, I've been did that, but when people like Sarnetta bring up Lucifer and he asks to Tazariak, he's talking about it's a demon inside a king or some shit. He's just some crazy stuff. But and I told I commented, he ain't see it though, but I commented, I said just go down and read the verse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what people not doing. Like instead of you just going to straight to 14, whatever the 14, 14 to 15 and 13, go from one all the way down and just read it. You will see that it's talking about a king. It's talking about a ruler that felt like he's going to get you to praise him just as much as the Most High, because it ain't talking about him flying in heaven. It's talking about
Mm-hmm.
him getting praised to where he's lifted up as a
Mm-hmm.
god, and then he's going to fall. His kingdom's going to fall. And then the 16 basically tell you he's a man.
Yep. That's why I
It tells
said
you he's a man.
the context is the key. You could throw a whole hour and a half trying to figure out just one word and determine if that was the accurate word that was translated to or this and that. But that doesn't give you nothing
Yeah,
but time wasted. Because let's read the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Even if you use like I said, you use your version or however you translated it, from your knowledge of knowing Hebrew or whatever, you read the whole thing and let's see what you come up with, and let me read mine and see what I come up with. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But the
Like I
problem is
said, the
with
only
them,
the only
they're
reason.
homing on one verse or homing on like just the key things that I guess celebrate their persuasion. That's
Yeah,
what the thing
exactly.
is.
That's why I said the only time I really use the Hebrew if I do read a verse and I be like, this just don't sell right,
Hmm.
and then I might read. I like look up one word. Like I said, I looked up Satan. When I looked up spirit, I realized his breath. So now when I see spirit, and it just I can see it. I get a better information. I ain't got to keep looking it up. I can get a better information when I read it in English because not because not because I have to, not because I needed the Hebrew. I mean, not because I need the language. It's because what I was taught it meant. And see, that's what people not understanding. A lot of us was taught a certain way.
Hmm.
I was taught spirit was because I was a Christian, so I was taught spirit was a outside your body being. I was taught that heaven was when you died. I was taught that hell was when you died. I was taught. You see what I'm saying? I was taught that
Hmm.
that Satan
Hmm.
was a demon. So when I read these scriptures, that's the eye I was looking out of. So only
Hmm.
time I went into
There
the
you go.
Hebrew
Key
just to
word.
break down just to understand. Okay, they did mean this, and then I can read it in English, and then I can just determine it. There, I don't have to keep going back to the Hebrew. I can just read the English. Just every time I see that Satan, I know what it means. Other than Job, you know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm. That's key word what you said though. All right. Basically, what lens you're looking at it from. If you're looking at it from and I'm not going to always knock the Christians from their
Yeah,
persuasion
yeah,
because
no, no.
that's what they believe. But if you're looking at something with a Christian lens, yeah, of course, everything that you see is going to be lining up with Christianity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you line everything up, looking at it from an atheist point of view, you're going to see that too. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
it is not many of us, but even though a lot of us try to turn around and say that we're Torah only, which is all good and all that, but then later on they come out with some type of, well, it's not Jesus, but
it's King
it's
David.
yeah, this and that. This the
It's
lens you're looking.
Onassis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
looking at it from your lens, but let's look
yeah,
at it from the Hebraic lens that we should really be looking at it from. Because when you look at it from there, you're gonna see what exactly certain things are being said and stated. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like a prime example, like one of the biggest ones that's been like over and over and over and over talked about, Isaiah 53. I've heard every different persuasion that you could come along with it, right? And
yeah,
to be honest with you, and I'm not putting it down to say me, I'm not saying it to say you, I'm not saying every one of them have came up with the wrong, you know,
yeah,
and the wrong answer. When in the whole damn chapter, it tells you it answers itself anyway. Who's it referring to? It answers itself within it. You know
yeah.
what I'm
Because I
saying?
remember we was doing it when I did it one time. It's like you go. It's like the chapter before. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what verse, but it actually tell you who the suffering servant is.
Would you just put it like this? Put it like this. Put it like this. I didn't even want you to say that who it was because you said it just there. Who was the suffering servant? The suffering servant, right? That's who
Yeah,
it was. It was the suffering servant. Who was the one that suffered? Israel. It's
yeah,
not hard. It's
yeah,
not hard. All these crazy, oh man, the suffering servant was Jeremiah, and they wouldn't be wrong if you said Jeremiah. It wouldn't be wrong if you said it was Ezekiel. It wouldn't be wrong if you said it was Hezekiah. It wouldn't be wrong if you said it was you,
yeah,
because we are the suffering servant. So, I
yeah.
mean, it's not hard. Jacob was the suffering servant because he was the Most High servant, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a metaphor about the suffering servant. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Let's see, like say your big wigs, your Zion Lexus. Let him say that. He ain't gonna say that. You know why? He ain't gonna say that. You know why? Because he's persuaded. Okay. Let's go with what's his name, Tazaria. He not gonna say that because he's persuaded. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let's go to Brother Josh. Who's he gonna say? Because now you
Yeah.
gotta go outside of the persuasion. What you gonna say? I mean, I don't need to be name calling him out, but like I'm being honest, man. I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, he had a debate on that before, and I think he said Israel, but
Well, you remember the reason why I said that because obviously I kind of like helped him, but
yeah, yeah, I
you
think
know
he
what I'm
got
saying?
stuck. I mean, I ain't say he got stuck, but I told him I think the problem that I shouldn't I thought he shouldn't have answered in that debate when the dude asked him was he talking about the human, Israel or the nation. He was like either one. I was like, you should have just left it in Israel. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude was trying to fakery these try to get him off on these questions, try to get the topic on a whole different subject. You know what I
Matter of
mean?
fact, matter of fact, matter of fact. Why we? Because I said we're gonna be short and sweet. We're gonna do what you was talking about also. Those scriptures that you have, and I'm gonna pull up Isaiah 53, but I'm gonna use their version of it, right?
Yeah,
Their everything about it, right? And I'm gonna use what I'm gonna say is probably the best translation that you can get. I can either go to the 1948 version of the Leningrads or the 1917. It ain't gonna really bother me. And if they want to come on here and say that this word and that word wasn't the right word, they can come on and do that, but it's still gonna end up with the same results. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that up, and then the one that you was talking about in Ezekiel, I'm gonna put that up. And we're gonna determine it from there. But we're gonna use the context. We're not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
use trickery. We're not gonna use nothing else but what is actually being read. You get what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna
yeah.
do. Give me a second to get this on the screen. I know Smashing Adams. He probably like, what's going on here? What he said, Isaiah 34:16 basically states you are to read for yourself. That's why it should easily point to out these type of things. Most people just go with the flow. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what they
Well,
do.
what's going on? I'm not going to say names and stuff. You know what I mean? Because it ain't one specific person, but it's just people now. It's a couple of people talking about this language thing. Some people are saying you can't get the context of. I mean, you can't get the context or will not understand the Bible without knowing the Hebrew, and we're saying no, you can get it if you understand the context, and you can. We even though we do research, it ain't like we saying we just straight. We saying we can do it, but
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying. But we saying do we do? Are we saying we don't go into the Hebrew? We don't break the. Yes, of course we do that. You see us do it on the show. So it's not like we saying we don't go into the Hebrew. We just saying understanding reading a whole sentence. If we don't understand the Hebrew in the whole sentence, don't mean that we can't understand it in the English. If we
Hmm.
can't, if we, you know what I mean? It's that simple because I've talked to people who know Hebrew, and when I broke it down from understanding what certain words mean, I know that it's good. We get the same understanding out of it.
Exactly. 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 Exactly.
It's
Now,
because that's what matters to me. Do we get the same understanding? You might
do
be
we get
reading
the
something
same
in Hebrew.
understanding? That's right.
I'm
Are we
reading in
ending up on the
English.
same page with it? Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Because that's what
Yep.
really matters.
Hmm. Well, the problem is a lot of us can't get on the same page just because of the way we're persuaded. To
Yeah,
be honest with you, so it's like you really like you're going up against that. It ain't nothing to do with the translation or the transliteration or even the transcribe. It ain't none of that. It's the persuasion.
yeah.
Persuasion. Let me put this disclaimer up before I even read this. Let me go back out real quick. Oh, I think I got it where I can just change the page. Nope. 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 What I do is take that back off. When I share, I'm supposed to share it as the screen or what is I'm supposed to do? Let me see here. Let me stop the screen. Take that off. Eh, only thing is getting familiar with
Yeah, because
this
I
again.
want
Should
to
I
I want
share
to
the,
go
the
back into
tab,
this.
tab or window? It's a window, right? I need to share.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
there we go.
I want to go back into. I'm gonna go back into the verses that because Morpheus used at least about 10 different verses, and he used it to try to discredit God and said God was evil and wicked, basically, and was not good. So I want to take these verses and flip it on them because I know these people. I know he didn't read the whole content. He went into scholarship and all this other stuff. So I just want to break down and see if is he right or is he wrong. You know what I mean? That's the
Well,
whole thing. So,
that's fine enough for me. I'm glad.
but we can
I'm
go into
glad.
the Ezekiel 2025 data because that's one of the verses he used. But I don't know all the other ones. But because I tried to listen, but I just when I see people just pick on verses, it's be hard for me because I know you ain't really reading the whole context of it.
hmm Well, let me read this disclaimer real quick so that we can all be on the same page. And this is not to go against those that go with the Lashawan Codex, or however the Quant
Yeah,
Codex.
Lashawan Kadash. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not to go against them because like I said, I'm standing on it. Like I said, with that for both sides, it's equal, even Steven. But let me read this. The Leningrad Codex is the oldest complete manuscript of the Tanakh, the 39 books of the Bible written in Cairo on parchment in the year 1009. The date appears on the manuscript. It is intrinsically bound up with the Aleppo Codex, which is about a century older but undated. Moreover, the Aleppo Codex, housed for many years in the Aleppo synagogue in Syria, was badly damaged in a fire during anti-Jewish riots in Syria in 1947, which kind of coincides with the 1948. How we call them, what's over there now, the Israelis right now. So anytime you want to play this game, what I'm saying, we're going to go with the Leningrad Codex or whatever, it being the oldest and Masoretic and all this and that. You got to remember, this is theirs, okay? And not
Mhm.
saying anything wrong with it being theirs, but I'm just saying they got to eat that whole
Hey, yeah,
sauce.
I got a question on that, right? Because I started looking up the Israelis, right? Because I always was told the Israelis speak Yiddish, right? So then
Right, right.
I'm finding out, well, from what I looked up, they saying that most people in Israel don't speak Yiddish. That Yiddish stuff actually left when it came to, a lot of them brought that stuff to America, but a lot of in the land they speak the modern Hebrew, and they read from the Tanakh. And
hmm
when they speak to each other, they actually speak the modern Hebrew. So
hmm
why is
And
people today still saying that they speak Yiddish?
that's just like I said, depends on somebody's persuasion. Somebody said this, another guy passed this on, and this and that. But either
Yeah,
way, to me, it's just like somebody saying somebody speaking from the Yiddish. If they're speaking Hebrew from the Yiddish point of view, from that's just that tongue, the Yiddish tongue. Like the Leningrad is speaking from the Tiberia, what I'm
yeah,
saying? Tongue. You know what I'm saying? You look, I can't even say it because the tongue ties. Labashan Kodesh, right, is speaking from that tongue, literally. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's not impressing me one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's Ethiopic, you're speaking from that tongue. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
All I need to know is what the scriptures translate to in English and let me go from there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I
That's
agree.
all that really matters.
Yeah, I just
Other
always
crap
wondered
is
why
bullshit.
people. I just because I just been hearing that for my whole time I've been there. Oh, they speak Yiddish, Yiddish ain't Hebrew, and then when I look it up, I'm like, so it don't even say they speak Yiddish.
hmm hmm And let me read a little more thing here. Well, you pretty soon you got the point of that. It's just I'm just wanted to put that disclaimer out that I'm using that source. I'm using their highest source that
Yeah,
they would be grounded in. All right, and I'm gonna do exactly what I said I was gonna do, and they can't do it better.
yeah,
I'm using 1985 version. This is the up to date version. It's a little bit different than the 1917 because English changes. But anyway, it says, who can believe what we have heard? I would ask, who the hell is the we here? But I'm not going to even go through all of that, okay? Because we would know who the we are. Upon whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? You can look around, you shrug over your shoulder. Who besides myself is this talking about? You know what I'm saying? For he has grown by his favor like a tree crown. It's different now, right? The translation is a little bit different, right? Like a
yeah,
tree trunk out of an arid ground. He had no form or beauty that we should look at him, no charm that we should find him pleased. I can read through this fast, and still know what I'm talking about and get in the context deeply inside of me. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has to read that fast or slow. He was despised, shunned by men, because I'm not getting trapped on, well, this verse says this and that. Oh, this fits my thought. No, I'm not even
Yeah.
going with that. All right. A man of suffering, familiar with disease. You know what I'm saying? As one who hid his face from us. He was despised. We held him of no account. All right. Yet it was our sickness that he was bearing. Now, I got to say, did something change there? Is this a different sect of something that's leading me away from me what my first thought was? Because it's really not. You know why it's really not? Because I automatically know that I'm reading something and not reading into it like it's a prophecy. Because guess what? This is not even a prophecy. But you know what? A lot of the persuasions, they see this as prophecy. They're persuaded to see this as prophecy. Why is it seen as prophecy? Because it leads to their future Messiah, right?
Yeah.
It leads to something if you was persuaded to think that, this is talking about the specific time frame that is written in. Also, it's leading to that persuasion, right? But
Mm-hmm.
let's look at it from what it really is. It's just a poem. You know what I'm saying? It's just a song. Okay? It's just some metaphorical song. This is all it's, and I ain't even finished it. But let me finish. Yet it was our sickness that he was bearing, one suffering that he endured. We accounted him plagued, smitten, and afflicted by God. All right. But he was wounded because of our sins, crushed because of our iniquities. He bore the chastisement that made us whole. And his bruise, and by his bruises we were healed. All right. We all went astray like sheep, each going his own way, and the Lord visited upon him the guilt of all of us. Hold on. How, all of us? All
Yeah.
of us is the same situation too. All of us is in the same situation, suffering too, right?
Yeah.
All of us, right now, present. Okay. He was maltreated, yet he was submissive. Not everybody gonna be submissive. I am, but
Yeah.
not everybody, because everybody, guess what, are not in that the mode themselves. 'Cause remember, you say if this was an atheist reading this, he ain't gonna see none of this what we talk about.
Yeah.
He gonna say, "Oh, this shit didn't happen." You know what I'm saying? That didn't
Yeah.
happen. All right. And those that, follow the Christian persuasion, they're still waiting. You know what I'm saying? Well, they're not quite waiting because they think that because something that they read thereafter, led to that. Because they
Yeah.
read something thereafter. I'm gonna say it again. Because they read something thereafter.
Yeah.
Like they heard somebody tell them, "Oh, this is who this was talking about."
Yeah.
They were persuaded that way, but they
Yeah.
wasn't persuaded by reading this way. You get what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They ain't sitting up there saying, "Well, this is a future thing," because there's nothing indication in this thing here that this is a future. Besides, somebody told them that this is a future prophecy.
Yeah.
That's how they see it through their lens. This is a prophecy when it's not. All right. Verse 6. We
So
all
to me when I hear it, let me see if I'm right on that. It sounds like it's something that already happened, right? And they talking about it.
you can look at it from that perspective. You can look at it from
Okay.
that perspective, from that lens. You can. You can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can. And you wouldn't be wrong. You can look at it from that perspective. All right. Verse, what was on 6? We all went astray like sheep, each going his own way. I like that part there. That sounds real good. Each going his own way. It
Yeah.
fits. It fits like I would think with Smashing Idol said earlier. I didn't post it. Did I post it up there? Yeah, I did. With Isaiah 34:16 and et cetera, et cetera. It fits that, right?
Yeah. You know what? And I'm just gonna say, it sounds like almost the same way that we today talk about slavery.
What? Are you kidding
And
me?
yeah, now that I think about that.
Hmm. Something you can identify with makes it
Yeah.
clean and keen. If you can identify with this, you almost halfway there of knowing who it is talking about.
Yeah.
All right, that's the problem. They're always expecting a hero. They're expecting Superman or somebody to come in to be the one to do such and such and take all of their suffering away. I gotta say,
Yeah.
make them right. They need to say, pass on my suffering to this one single character, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm free.
Yeah, I mean, because even though we leave, even though the people, even when people leave out of Christianity, they still have that mindset. Because when you go into the black Pan Africanism to no Moorish to, it's
Hmm.
always that there's always that Messiah type figure. So we still have that thought mindset to this day.
You mean to tell me that persuasion sticks on them like glue? Because it does. It does. That's the hardest thing in the world is to get rid of something that you're kind of like, stuck into. You know,
Yeah,
they might have walked away from what you say the Christian denomination because somebody like pastor might have said something. Pastor might got caught up in a lie. So I'm leaving this congregation. I'm going out of this congregation. He lied to me. But when they go, they're still going and carrying what they were persuaded with to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The shift changing too. Ship shape. That's all they do. But let me, what was that on? 7? I read verse 8. There's only a few verses anyway. It's not hard. By oppressive judgment, he was taken away. Who could describe his abode? Question mark. I can describe it. For he was cut off from the land of the living through the sin of my people. Who deserved the punishment? All right. The people deserved it, right?
Yeah,
And his grave was set up among the wicked, and with the rich in his death, though he had done no injustice and had spoken no falsehoods. But the Lord chose to crush him by disease. All right. Now everybody looking over their shoulder. What's that word disease? What that ain't what it say in the Hebrew. Dude, I don't care if it do say it in the Hebrew or not. I'm looking at this damn poem, right?
yeah,
And I'm saying to myself, this is a very high quality written poem. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting a lot out of it. All right, that if he made himself an offering for guilt, he might see offspring and have long life. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Something there ain't fit my persuasion. Let me go. Let me look in a book, or matter of fact, let me check something out and come up with another solution around that. Let's so I can twist that to make that fit my persuasion. But you don't
yeah,
have to. You don't have to because it's nothing to try to persuade or mispersuade you with it when reading it. Just read it and get the context. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? The content is already in here. You don't
yeah,
got to go nowhere else. All right. And that through him, the Lord's purpose might prosper. And through him, the Lord's purpose might prosper. Uh oh. So you trying to tell me you don't kind of get that? Because
yeah.
it's already titled. You know what I'm saying? It's already done for us. Let me finish these two verses and I can really get on it. Out of his anguish, he shall see it. He shall enjoy it to the full through his devotion. It gotta be devoted, man.
Yeah.
My righteous servant, I'm gonna say it again. My righteous servant, uh-oh, it answers itself, right?
Yeah.
Scripture answers itself. My righteous servant makes them many righteous. It is their punishment that he bears. Or surely I will give him the many as his portion. He shall receive the multitude at his spoil, for he exposed himself to death and was numbered among the sinners, whereas he bore the guilt of the many and made an intercession for sinners. Man, the suffering servant, the suffering servant, which this is about, the suffering servant who is Israel, who is us, he did it all.
Yeah.
When you wake up and realize that he's talking about you and me, as a whole, like transform all together as a servant. We could need to serve the Most High, right?
Because it almost I'm gonna say what it kind of sounded when I'm just from me hearing it. It sounds like I say it's talking about parts of things that did happen,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's talking about things that it's almost like the gift and the curse. It's telling you if you do this, this can happen. And then
Sneaky,
I
sneaky.
hear a little bit, maybe in that, but I'm just saying maybe it is, but I hear a little bit of people, even the people who did not become sinners, like the rest of the people of Israel, became punished with them too. Also,
Huh?
okay.
Absolutely 100. Matter of fact, you 10,000% correct. Okay? ten
Okay.
thousand percent correct. And guess what? Even though I read this like this, and we both sat here and we got a clear understanding, and we're using their version, right? We're
Yeah.
using their version. I don't care what words that you try to say wasn't there, and this means that, and this means this, and that means, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. I got the same message that I needed to get to realize that this is talking about the suffering servant.
Yeah.
It's not hard if you know through other scriptures, literally, that who's supposed to be the servant of the Most High. You know that's Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how much time did I waste on that easy street scripture? Not long, right?
Yeah.
But many have problems with this, and
I
I'm
mean,
telling you.
because like I said, it's the lens they look through. Because
Hmm.
they, when you believe, you don't need a lot. The belief to me, evidence to believe it to a believer is like going to circuit court, where you don't really need a lot of evidence and proof, and you still
Hmm.
can win. And then when you're looking at it through the lives of somebody like us, we show the proof as is that we in a circuit court or a criminal court, but they can't see it because they're not used to they're not used to taking all the facts. They go by what they want to hear. I mean, once they hear, oh, he was wounded. Oh, see, you say
Hmm.
he wounded. Or see, you say this. You know what I mean? So they'll take what they can out of it and to make it fit.
Hmm. Well, they start doing that, and that's where they start coming up with all these different ways to say, well, they pressuring off of this word and just looking up it in the Hebrew,
Yeah,
and then when you look it up in the Hebrew, it still mean the same thing. So they go to the next move. Well, that Hebrew that you looked it up in was not the authentic Hebrew. That was given by the, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're just trying to move the football whole entire field instead of
yeah.
the goalpost. They're moving the whole entire field now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right because like when I did the Hebrew right for spirit, right, and I found out it was breath. I said, okay, so spirit means breath. So I'm doing this. Another guy want to argue with me, talk about, oh no, it doesn't mean it means wind. This or this. I said, nigga, I said for real is oxygen if you want to be for real. And I said
Yeah.
oxygen is in wind. No, oxygen is not in wind. What the fuck is you talking about? Oxygen is not in wind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just arguing over something because it said wind and I said breath, and you want to make an argument over the two different words, but it's the same thing. It's the same shit.
Hmm.
What you think oxygen travels through? What you think the break? You know what I'm saying? Like, I be like, man, you just want to argue because you want to think you know. You want to think because when you read the Hebrew anyway, it has two, three, four different English words. But
Hmm.
they all is similar to the same thing. It ain't like it changes. Like, oh no, wind, the spirit means breath, and then no, the spirit means your heart. It don't say it like that. It's wind, breath. It's the same. It's a similar thing. If you actually know science, oxygen and wind has oxygen in it. So it's like it's similar. It's a similar thing. It's the same thing.
I admit and thank the Most High that I have all of my five senses. Okay,
Yeah,
thank Him for that. Cause just imagine if I didn't have, like, say, my sense of sight, right? Now I
yeah,
have a problem because I can't read it at all. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Unless I learn whatever they call that braille, but other than that, I can't read it at all. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And if I lose my hearing and I can't hear somebody else read it either, now I
yeah,
got a problem. But thank the Most
yeah,
High, I got my five senses.
yeah. Yeah, because like I
Yeah.
said, once I got the context, once you get the context of how culture work, because it ain't just going. I see. I didn't get when I heard you say and I said what I said. It didn't come from me just reading the Hebrew. It came from me understanding the culture. It came from me
Hmm.
understanding how they thought in back in the day. It came me understanding they weren't thinking about no Jesus in that time. So if they
Hmm.
wasn't thinking about Jesus that time, it comes from me understanding the verses when they say when he told Moses, say, let my son go, and this is my firstborn. So you understand that Israel was always considered his son.
Hmm.
So sometimes he talked about Israel in a what? As a person, as
Hmm.
one whole person.
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly.
So when
Exactly.
he's talking like in that one whole person in this verse, the Christian might think about he's talking about Jesus, and not talking about Israel because Israel's a nation, but they not understanding. They don't have the context that Israel was talked about as a whole one person at times.
Yeah, I think to really draw the line with these people, I could say it at as low as this. All you really need is common sense with some logic.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but see, it's I don't know. You was a Christian before too, right?
Yeah, I
Okay,
grew
yeah.
up in
So
a
you
Christian church.
understand. Yeah, you understand, man. That Christian hypnotizing is dangerous. Like because
Hmm.
the why Christianity is so dangerous than any other religion or group that's out here because most people join these other groups when they get older. Most people become a
Hmm.
nation. It's not most people. It's some people that's born into it, but most people come when they get out of Christianity. Most become a Five Percenter, Morris, all that stuff later on. Most of
Hmm.
us become a Christian as a kid up. So just like you
Hmm.
was taught in elementary school and taught all that bullshit, history and everything, and then when you got
Hmm.
older, you had to get up out of it. It's the same thing with Christianity. They had us as kids growing up reading these scriptures and teaching us this way until we got older and understand no, this is not right. So you got to get yourself out of that doctrine first.
We really just say if they gotta get themselves out of being easily persuaded.
Yeah,
They're easily persuaded. And
yeah,
for some reason, somebody's level of how much deep they get into it depends on their heart to begin with. If you if you get
yeah,
easily persuaded into thinking something outside of the box is such and such, when it ain't that, you need to get yourself checked. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't care if you go study from the greats with the language, it ain't gonna help you because
yeah,
you easily persuaded. That's the problem. You were easily persuaded.
yeah. I think so.
Hmm. And I think that's where the difference between, like, you know, and I say us, I'm referring to all of us that only stay focused with, the Most
Most
High
High.
and the message that He was giving to us
To us.
by His prophets and by the many that came along, the ancestors, what I'm saying, left, breadcrumbs and et cetera, et cetera. And even through the oppression that we went through, we can see this clear. That still goes back to
Oh,
the Most High.
what did she? Uh, what you call it? You put a verse up here? Did you?
Oh, she says, Isaiah 19:18. In that day there will be 5 cities in the land of Egypt that speak the language of Canaan and swear allegiance to the Lord of hosts. One of these will be called the city of destruction. That's a good point. I think she's referring back to, like, when we was talking about, like, the language topic. So
Okay.
that's what she was addressing. You know, that she was addressing. All right. Now, if you want to, what you said, Ezekiel chapter 25.
I thought no. She was chapter 2025.
All right, hold on, and I'm gonna say something as I'm pulling that up. I'm already set up in the mindset we going into the Babylonian exile and situations of captivity, right? So I already pretty much already know how this is gonna end up. Ezekiel 20, right? Ezekiel
Yeah.
20. All right. I'm still using their. This is the first time I'm looking at this from their. You know what I'm saying? Persuade. You can see it right up there. JPS Tanakh, 1985, the latest, edition of that. And it's translated in English. Okay, let's go with this. Let's go with this because it's not hard. In the 7th year, on the 10th day of the 5th month, certain elders of Israel came to inquire of the Lord and sat down before me. Sat down before Ezekiel. Hmm. And the word of the Lord came to me. In other words, God's words, God's uh what he needs to tell them came to him. All right, all right. O mortal, speak to the elders of Israel and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, how have you come to inquire of me? Question mark. As I live, I will not respond to your inquiry, declares the Lord God. All right. Arraign them, O mortal, declare to them the aberrant deeds of their fathers. You already know. It's trying to push them back to thinking that they're how they asses get there. So blame your fathers. All right.
Yeah.
Say to them, And I'm reading from their persuasion. Say to them, thus saith the Lord God, on the day that I chose Israel, I gave my oath to the stock of the house of Jacob when I made myself known to them in the land of Egypt. I gave my oath to them when I said, I, the Lord, am your God. I am your God. Okay, it's basically saying, not these idols, not all those creatures that y'all was worshiping and carrying on and ignoring and going by their ways, even the people of the land that y'all were in, etc., etc. I, the Lord, am your God. All right. Tell me when I get that verse that this guy said when he said that he don't believe in God is real. But anyway, that same day I swore to them, take them out of the land of Egypt into a land flowing with milk and honey, a land which I have sought out for them, the fairest of all lands. All right. I also said to them, cast away every one of you the detestable things that you are drawn to, and do not defile yourselves with fetishes of Egypt. I, the Lord, am your God. He's double downing on that, right?
Yeah.
I still don't see where this guy is trying to say this God ain't real, but anyway. But they defied me and refused to listen to me. They did not cast away the detestable things that they were drawn to, nor did they give up the fetishes of Egypt. Then I resolved to pour out my fury upon them, to vent all my anger upon them there in the land of Egypt. Easy street. But I acted for the sake of my name, right? That it might not be profaned in the sight of the nations among whom they were. For it was before their eyes that I made myself known to Israel to bring them out of the land of Egypt. Oh man, this is tough. 'Cause I'm trying to like what I should say, confuse myself, and I can't. I can't. I can't. And I'm reading English, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to confuse myself, but if you really want to confuse yourself even more, right? Knock yourself out, right? And forget everything that you know about yourself. All right? Forget, where you came from. Forget that there's a God up in the sky. Forget, you know what I'm saying, your grandmother, what you say, go amnesia.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're not going to get this, or either you're persuaded another way.
Yeah.
Where I left over 10. I brought them out of the land of Egypt, and I led them into the wilderness. I gave them my laws and taught them my rules, by the pursuit of which a man shall live. All right. Moreover, I gave them my Sabbath to serve as a sign between me and them, that they might know that it is I, the Lord, who sanctify them. That's a triple down. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They did not follow my laws, and they rejected my rules, by the pursuit of which a man shall live, and then they grossly desecrated my Sabbaths. Then I thought, all right, to pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness and to make an end of them. But I acted for the sake of my name. It's not hard to understand what's going on because he has so much mercy for us and all that stuff for us and all. And then mercy ain't written there nowhere, right? I don't see it. I
Yeah.
didn't say nothing about. I mean, I didn't read nothing about mercy, but I got it. I got it. I got it. Unless I bump my head, I will forget it. But other than that, it's easy street. All right, that it might not be profaned in the sight of the nations before whose eyes I had led them out. All right. However, I swore to them in the wilderness that I would not bring them into the land flowing with milk and honey, the fairest of all lands which I had assigned to them. For they had rejected my rules, disobeyed my laws, and desecrated my Sabbath. Their hearts followed after their fetishes. But I had pity on them and did not destroy them. I did not make an end to them in the wilderness. I warned their children in the wilderness. Now you know he's talking about what you call a different era of people, right? Do not follow the practices of your fathers. Do not keep their ways. Do not defile yourselves with their fetishes. All right. I, the Lord, am your God. That's a fourth down. Follow my laws and be careful to observe my rules and hallow my Sabbaths, that they may be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I, the Lord, am your God. It's the fifth time. I mean, how many times is it going to need to be stuck and shaken and put inside their heads for them to get it, or for us to get it, or even those after us to get it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This thing is not hard, but I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna go scrolling down. This thing can go on and go on and go on and go on,
And go
and
to
it's
go to
like it's
it's,
going and it's repeating the same thing. Cause look how many times it's saying I am the Lord. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? The
I think
message is
it's 20.
already
I think
done.
it's 25 when we get to the.
hmm Now, I wasn't saying it to say that it's too long for me to read. I was just saying it's like kind
Oh
of like
yeah,
the same message is being pumped. It's being thrown at us. It's being shot into us. Everything.
yeah.
It's
It's
the same
basically
message.
somebody. It's basically saying, "I don't did all this stuff. I'm doing this for you. I don't get you out of here. I don't did this." You know what I mean? So he's basically telling you everything he don't did for you.
hmm Moreover, I gave them laws that were not good, all right, and rules by which they could not
Yeah, go
live.
right there.
hmm
So he trying to say that the Most High, because the Most High gave him laws that he knew that was going to be wicked and sacrifice the children, that he is wicked because the laws was wicked. Something like that. That's what he was trying to say.
the problem with that, even though I understand what he's trying to say, and literally, he's the problem is it's not really something that this would draw attention to him because he don't naturally have an affection, you know, for above and beyond himself. He don't believe in God. Literally, that's his
Yeah,
problem. It ain't the
yeah,
message because that did not give by no way no indicator that this would mean that was this mean. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? That's a prime example. How his persuasion or how his like he's so disattached from God or even any God. That is his individual isolated problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I can say, well, I can go to Ezekiel, the 26th chapter, 18. I'm not 26, the 18th chapter, right? And see where this literally being stated with the two choices of which way to go. You can take life and you can take death. You want to
yeah,
live, you gotta go with these things that he's been saying at least 11 times in here. And
yeah,
if you choose death, then hey, don't worry about it. This means nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Just climb up to the highest peak that you can and just play Bomber Yards, take a dive. That's what's
yeah,
really going on. But I don't see, and you don't see, and it doesn't even show any indicators or whatsoever that whatever he thought was not right there, that's his own isolated problem.
yeah.
hmm Now, the good thing about that is he came to you and he said this, you know what I'm saying? So
No, no,
that
he
means,
did. He was on something else.
oh, then I guess what? Over there in that path, I feel
Yeah,
sorry for the brother because he ain't gonna, we're not on there. We're not over there. There's nobody over there that's gonna help that man.
yeah,
I think he's gonna climb the steps to the highest peak. So at this point now, he pretty much ready to jump because that's where he gonna end up when he went there with that.
yeah.
Yeah, but pretty much that's what was on my shoulders. I have no problems with them, fussing and fighting over. Like I said, it both means holy tongue, no matter how you look at it. Lashawn, Lashawan, you know what I'm saying? It means holy tongue. I mean, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the big deal? Makes no sense. But yeah, I know I said earlier we was gonna do something on uh Idi Amin, and probably within that we was gonna talk about other uh those of Israel, hitting Israel, you know what I'm saying? Those that don't even have Tanakhs, those that don't have, you know, any Hebrew Bibles or anything to assist them, but they do have, certain features. They are the children of the Most High. Okay, and
Yeah.
they
I
do
mean,
exist, and they
I want.
and they gonna persist to exist. All right.
Yeah, I want to say something about this verse too because, like I said, when I heard him say when he used this verse, he's trying to say, "Oh, so the Most High gave him laws, knowing that it was going to be wicked, and so that made him not good." No, listen to me now. If you look at the verse,
hmm
it says, "Let me see if I can read it because it's kind of small." Read read 24 and 25 for me.
All right. Because they did not obey my rules,
Now that's
but
the first
reject.
thing you need to hear that he should have put out,
Mhm.
and he tried to make it seem like that didn't mean nothing. What that he basically just said this whole chapter. Look, I did all this for you. I got out you out of Egypt. I gave you land. I did this to you. You did this. And you still can't follow my laws and commandments, right? So then go to keep going.
All right. Uh, because they did not obey my rules, but rejected my laws. All right.
So he didn't give them messed up laws at first. He gave them correct laws. He gave them laws that would bless them and bless the land and bless the people, but they rejected it. So that means they didn't want it. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Profane my Sabbaths. All
Yep.
right. And looked with longing to the fetishes of their fathers.
Okay. Now go to 25.
Mhm. Moreover, moreover, it's a continuation.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, I gave them laws that were not good and rules by which they could not live.
So
Hmm.
he's saying, okay, since y'all don't want my laws, since y'all don't want me to save y'all, since y'all don't want me to make y'all the nation that I told y'all supposed to be, I'm gonna let you do what you want to do. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna set laws that I know that is not good for you, so you can see that the laws I gave you were way better, and that's what you should have been following in the first place. So he
Hmm.
spanked them. That's what he
Yeah,
spanked them.
exactly,
He gave him a
exactly.
whipping. Or the young
Yep.
people would say he belt the ass.
It's like that's like this, like you saying that. Say, moreover, I gave you laws that were not good. They wasn't good enough for you, right? Like all these laws I gave you weren't good enough for you. All right,
Yeah,
my rules was not good enough for you. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't live by my rules. It just was no good for you. You get what I'm doing there?
yeah,
I'm not really saying that, but I'm saying that to you. I'm saying this as you rejected the shit, so it wasn't good enough for you, right?
yeah.
You
It wasn't
reject.
good enough,
I
and you
guess. I
couldn't.
guess.
And at the end, it said you couldn't live by them.
Hmm. I mean, this is not hard, and like I've said, we're using their highest, render of this damn chapter, and we still got the context. Not hard, not hard. But that brother you was talking about, I don't know. Like I said, he over there
Yeah.
with that group. He's already at the top peak. All you got to do is just tell himself, "Go ahead, jump, boy, jump."
Every time the Most had talked to the people, it was either a blessing or a curse.
Hmm.
It was either you do this and this can and this and you will be blessed, and you do this you will be cursed.
Hmm.
And it's
Hmm.
repeated all. It just repeated different ways. It ain't. This one is not similar. I mean, this is one is not being showed as it is straight directly like like Leviticus is.
Hmm.
Leviticus and the Ramen is basically telling you, you do this gonna happen. You do this gonna happen. They're saying the same thing, but it's
Hmm.
just the way they putting it, the way they wrote it down.
The way they transcribed it, the way it is
Yeah,
transcribed. I mean, yeah, that's like I said. That's what the problem is. They're not really getting the context. But maybe tell you the truth, maybe someone that and I know that's not true because I've seen it with my eyes and I've heard it with my own ears. Those that can speak that so fluent and they still lost. They ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So really, was that all waste learning that language?
yeah,
You just still don't got it, brother. You learned that language. I mean, I gave you money, put you through school, and you still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I had you professionally trained, and you still don't get it. The only thing I can say to that is like I usually say to people that things is not cut out for them. Maybe it's just not cut out for you, baby. It's not cut out for you.
yeah.
That's a dirty game, right? DOA. That's all I can say. But you know, I've been a challenge. Anybody want to, take that test? Let's come on. Let's read some scriptures and whatever way they want to read their scriptures, bring their scriptures or whatever they want to do with their scriptures. Let's break down these scriptures. Let's break them down together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And y'all gotta watch going to some of these scholars because a lot of these scholars have Christian airs, man. They have it too.
Mhm. That's right. You gotta watch the lens that they have on their on their
Yeah.
face.
'Cause I literally seen scholars talking about Satan like the Satan was a real being.
Hmm.
I've literally
Hmm.
seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
mean, it's most people, most of these people, it's scientists as Christians, the doctors as Christians, the scholars as Christians. Don't make it think just because they got these titles that
That's
they ain't
right.
Christians.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That is exactly right. It's like getting in an airplane when the guy's already the pilot's talking about I'm feeling like committing suicide. Would you fly in that
You
plane?
know what? You did help me. You did help me. I will say you did help me understand 25 a little bit more because I think I was a little bit off. But once you said that one part, I was like, okay, I understand it now.
Hmm. Well,
Because
nah,
the way I
probably
was looking at it was him saying that he did give him laws to do that. But now I understand he wasn't saying I'm gonna give you laws to destroy you. He was saying that you didn't like my laws, and you were
right,
saying my laws was
right,
good.
right.
Okay,
But
see that,
that
yeah,
translation, though, you see in that translation, if you just read just that portion and not read everything else, and
yeah,
basically don't get the gist of it, then that would kind of make you think that. But that's not because it's a bad translation as far as the English from the Hebrew. What it is kind of a bad, a form of giving the full significance of what the whole chapter is talking about. So that's
yeah,
why
that,
you got to use tools, different tools. If let's say if this didn't, I couldn't quite get it with this version, I may have to move over to. I don't do it that often. Go over to the KJV and
yeah,
read it. I may have to go over to the Septuagint. You know what I'm saying? But I have to make sure I use some type of tool that I have, right,
yeah.
to give me a better understanding of
See, but yeah, because when you put it, so maybe understand that quick was because you put it in a modern way.
it. That's right. I did it
You
on
see what I'm
purpose like
saying?
that.
Yeah, like the way
Did it
you
on
just said
purpose.
it. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah. And my mind just clicked. It was like, okay, so the second part just saying, so you didn't want to live bad, and not that oh you not going to live bad. Because the first when I first thinking, I'm thinking he's talking about I'm giving them a law. I'm gonna
Hmm.
give you a law and it's gonna destroy you, and I know
Hmm.
you ain't gonna be able to live it. So, but what he's
Hmm.
saying is you couldn't live by this law I gave you, and you did you thought it wasn't good enough.
Hmm.
That's why I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Because he's talking to then I had to think, oh, he's talking to is through Ezekiel to the people.
Hmm.
So he's basically telling y'all think I've been all this. I've been a great father to y'all. I did this for y'all. I brung y'all out of slavery. I did this. I gave y'all land. I gave y'all laws, and y'all still not saying it's good enough. You still say you can't live, but you still want to live wicked. And now when you look at it that way, when I look at it that way, it makes more sense.
Hmm. So that's what one thing about the Most High in that particular Babylonian exile. What he did, he selected a few people, a remnant of people that obviously he had mercy for the whole nation, but only those that was not to that point where he needed to destroy, and he put them in exile, put them in captivity, and then he chose out of all of them that were in captivity, he chose Ezekiel to be his priest, literally. That's what he did, and that's why he's the one at the time frame going back and forth for them. Not going back and forth for them because they can't do it. It's because you got to remember they're infant again. They're back to the stage. What's going on? Why are we in this punishment? Why? And they don't have an answer. You get what I'm saying? So that's where Ezekiel is coming in. That's how that works. Oh, you fell off. You came back on. Yeah, yeah. You on here twice. Maybe you got disconnected. Uh, But to me, I think my message has brought some clarity, and I hope that many who watch this got a better understanding in all sides of what we were talking about. Also, you know what I mean? All right, Eric, you may want to go out and come back in on one of those profiles because I can't hear you. I know you're trying to say something. Go out and come back in. Hmm. take this off the screen. Alright. Like I said, I'm keeping this short and sweet. So when he comes back, all right, he's back.
I don't know what I don't know that. I don't know how both. I'm on the phone. How both of my jokes get on there from the phone? That's crazy.
Oh, you probably like, especially with a phone, probably when you chime back in and then open up another tab.
That's great.
That's probably why it went mute. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But it can happen, we live. I mean, when you're live, like, things could crop up and happen. So, like I was saying
Oh
to,
yeah. So I gotta go get them other verses because I wanna do a whole breakdown of this nigga because they make it seem like oh he just did a great job. I'm like oh no I can't allow this.
hey, the place to breathe, the place to come on DOA channel. Literally, if you want to break down scriptures, and I say scriptures, I consider anything the Hebrew book provides. I ain't talking about anything with the New Testament because that's not scripture. All right.
Yeah.
But anything from the Hebrew side of things, everybody's welcome to bring anything or all. It doesn't matter. I love breaking down scripture. You know
And
what
the
I'm saying?
apostle
And,
just
and,
sitting
and
there
and
getting
no
beat up.
tricks. No tricks. No, you see me, I got any tricks? I got any tricks? No tricks.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that verse caught me off. That junk caught me right there. I ain't gonna lie. That
Hmm.
junk threw me off for a second. I was like, wait a minute, that shit was wrong. And then
Hmm. Well, like you said, I admit that, like I said, certain renders of certain things could confuse you and could throw you off. But in the end, you have different sources to make that final
no,
decision.
I think what threw me off is I was going off of what he was saying. So it kind of like
Oh yeah, that also plays a part too.
yeah.
If
So it kind
somebody
of like when I was reading it, I'm like, okay, he's saying this.
he
This
gave you a self-inflicted tool to
yeah,
wound yourself with. That's what
yeah, yeah. So in the
yeah,
back of
that
my
happens.
head, I'm reading from that in that situation
Mhm. Mhm.
instead of me really like reading it. To study because that's what I used to do. Like, you gotta go back to the beginning and because I know that's not what it's saying, but for
Mhm.
some reason it just stuck in my head because I knew that's the God ain't make no laws to destroy because I never even heard of that before. So it's
No.
like,
No. 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 But like I kind of knew it not based upon even fully from reading the whole chapter. To I ain't gonna sit up there and say it was just that alone. I knew it when because I read these scriptures up and down and down
yeah,
and
yeah,
up
I know
and
you. That's
down and up
that's
and
why
down
that's why I
and up
picked
and
it. I
down.
specifically did it because I know you stay in Ezekiel. So you know what I mean. I know you always was in Ezekiel. Since
Yep.
I've been talking to you, you always talked about Ezekiel. So I knew you
That's
kind
my
of knew it was for
grandfather's.
me.
That's my grandfather's. That's his name, and I named
Yeah,
my son after that. So you best to believe I better know my book of Ezekiel. But
yeah, yeah,
I try to equally branch it with every Hebrew book. Period. My grandmother on my father's side. That's how she was. She probably had every different rendition of the Bible that you could have, and read them damn books over
yeah,
over and over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? That's how she gained her wisdom.
yeah.
You know, I mean, if a French edition came out, and I'm gonna check it out too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how it is. And you got to remember, your heart is still on the Most High. So
Yeah,
literally, if you see something that definitely sounds like oddball like that, yeah, go to your tools. Or go to if you have to go to somebody else that you may could trust their rendering or whatever, do that too. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
oh yeah, yeah. No, most
Ain't
definitely.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I said, one of my main researching sayings is a great teacher is a great student.
Hmm.
How can you be a great teacher if you ain't like any teacher you can name from school to any type of teacher had to learn first. Had
Look at
to.
this. Look at this on that 28th verse. I'm gonna highlight this right. I gotta put it back up. Let me put it back up there. I'm gonna highlight this. In other words, I'm gonna home in on it, and I'm gonna mark right here. poured out their libations. Their libations. I don't really know right off the bat. When I say right off the bat, meaning like to when you put a first word up there, that I know the definition of it like that. So, and I'm just picking and choosing this. Not saying that I don't know. I'm just saying I'm picking and choosing this. I see a new word to me that I don't understand. What the first thing I need to do? I need to define that word, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And how do I define? Even though we don't really necessarily use like go to the library anymore to go get a dictionary. We got computers now. We got smartphones. We got all kind of smart devices.
yeah,
I just would simply say, let me look up what does libations mean. Like literally, is that hard?
yeah,
It's not hard. Now, say if this was in Hebrew. I mean, I know you know it, and everybody else know it, because we're not the first ones to use, like, say, a concordance, and it doesn't have to necessarily be Strong's. See, Strong's concordance is only results that was written in the KJV, but other concordances pertain to like a Hebrew word from whatever form of word it comes from. Like you can go to a Hebrew dictionary, right?
yeah,
And get the definition of something that you do not mean. Just because you can speak fluent in English, you don't know every word they're meaning. So
yeah,
you have to know if you speak Hebrew, it works the same way. You don't know every definition. So you just as dumb down as that guy over there that don't know how to speak English.
yeah,
Now, how about that?
yeah. I agree with that.
You know, it's funny. I watched that a presentation. It was good until he said that part, and I was agreeing with him at certain points. But like I said, I also take in consideration what other people state, and and I look at their part, and I agree with that, and then I make my decision based upon looking at all sides of the fence. And nothing that he said and nothing that the other side said changed my mind from saying the same answer. They both mean holy tongue.
Yeah,
That's what it means.
yeah. I
And if
mean, yeah,
and if the Ravenous bird was to give his render, and I'm sure if Ravenous bird was to go up against that character that today's thing, he would destroy him on.
yeah,
When I say that, he would destroy him completely with the language. I mean, I know that's for a fact, but
yeah,
the problem is when you get with certainty the amount of these guys, you're also going to get their push, their narrative.
yeah,
That's why it's dangerous to actually like go with the flow of somebody who's trying to make pretend that they're better than you. You
yeah,
never see me saying I'm better than you.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all, me, you,
Yeah,
we
I
still
never believe
equal.
nobody better than me. You
We
just
all
like I
equal.
mean, it's just like I might know things in certain things like science or history or something that
Hmm.
a person might don't know, and you might know certain things that you know what I mean. Like
Hmm.
it's just we supposed to learn. That's why I tell people I don't debate, man. I discuss and I build
Hmm.
because my whole purpose of learning and researching is to go to my people, go to my son, go to my cousins, go to my family members, go to my friends, go to the hood, go around and teach. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Tell them what's going on, teach it to them. You know, I be at work, I teach to my workers. You know, I try
Hmm.
not. They Christians. I don't try to make them force them out of Christianity. I give
No.
them things to think about, and I say, "Hey, go research yourself."
Hmm.
You know, and so that's what I learned for. I don't learn to try to be like, well, let me get in the debate and think I'm try to act like I'm greater than this guy. You know, that's some people. That's a narcissistic way. Some people are
Hmm.
just narcissistic where they don't have. See, I have love when and respect outside of social media because who I am,
Hmm.
how I grew up. So
Hmm.
I told people the way you looked up to me in the streets, I want you to look up to me the same way now. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people don't have that, so they go on social media and try to get it because they a lot of people
Hmm.
don't really know who they are.
Yeah, well, you gotta remember they've become, I guess, more superior, in their mindset when they got a place or space where they can kind of hide their face. And I'm
Yeah,
saying that, and we got our faces here. But we only have our faces hidden because we show it on the normal, so it ain't
Yeah,
nothing
I be
crazy.
at home chilling, so they don't want
Yeah,
to see. They
yeah,
don't want to see my. They don't want to see my video right now.
yeah. I might be sitting right here, butt naked. I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I ain't showing my fingers on what I I'm at home. I chill at home. I'll be dressed up and have glasses on me. All that shit
know.
sitting on.
Hmm. Yeah. And one thing I have to say, and this is not directed to any particular person, but I could say this much: when you are on these type of uh, renderings of a podcast, or even if you're in your church, don't go there drunk, hide up, and
Yeah,
and stuff like that. It's not a good look, number one. And at the same time, you're hot headed. You're not thinking. You're 100%, and you're gonna say things. You're gonna even do things that's gonna be awkward looking to those that are looking at you.
yeah.
Okay.
People don't know how. Cause I used to drink. Well, I ain't really will never drink it, but I used to smoke. You know what I'm saying? So my by me not smoking, I probably just stopped smoking about 4 years. So by me not smoking, my mind is so clear. Cause I used to think I had to do everything. I used to think everything I did I had to smoke. Then secondly, when you sober, you can tell when a person high. You can tell
Mhm.
when a person drunk. It's like
Mhm.
it's like when you high and drunk, you think people don't know this, and they
Mhm.
do because I'm so
Mhm.
sober. I can see your eyes red. I can hear you slurring your voice. I'm because I'm so clear. I can see that somebody when somebody ain't clear.
Mhm.
And they don't understand that. I ain't used to understand that. Like I used to going around people, but like, how they know I'm high? You know what I'm saying? I'm being normal, but you
But
just don't
smell yourself. Be
understand.
like, nah, I
Yeah.
can't smell it. Hey, what am I doing?
Maybe I'm talking too much. I'm talking way more than I usually talk. Or it's there's a lot of things that happens when you just don't know. You know what I mean? 'Cause if you were always quiet, all of a sudden you just come in here talking and eating and hungry. I'm like, wait a minute, this
Mhm.
nigga high. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you ain't gonna be able to just had it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
especially to me, drinking is totally different because, like I said, I'm a personally I don't like drinking. I don't like being around people that drink. This is because of my family. I grew up around alcohol. I grew up with an abusive stepdad that drank all the time. My brother became an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic like 13, 14, 15. And all I did was fight. I was a violent alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? At like
Mhm.
13, 14 years old. So I just stay away from it and I don't like it because I think that shit is a demonic drug. That shit is down there worse than any other drug.
Mhm.
And it's
Well.
legal. That's the sad part.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, like I said, it was gonna be short and sweet. I mean, at least we definitely made some fine points. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you see the background. I like that background. Handy up, the ground forces.
Yeah.
Dead on arrival. You know what I mean? Which is good and all that, but this even I can destroy everybody's poor, pathetic doctrines based upon how they really just trying to push their nonsense. At the same time, I'm the same guy to come back humbly to build them back up. That's why I
Yeah.
said that statement. What I said, and we discussed that. Yep. But you got anything else you want to pour out at us? Oh, we can
Not
move
really.
on.
Like I said, I'm just working on some stuff, and then I'm gonna try to go get these verses back too that he put up, and just go and have a whole episode and just
Hmm.
go at it.
Hmm. Yeah. Like I said, tomorrow I'm probably going to end up doing that thing on India. I mean, I think we need to
Oh yeah, yeah,
be broad and widen our
yeah,
podcast and open up some eyes to different you know to different views. I didn't say lens, but different views, different viewpoints.
yeah. True that.
And that's actually the title of it tomorrow. These evil eyes.
I want to do a junk on AI too because
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
my
Oh
friend,
yeah.
my cousin trip over me because he was like, "Man, you was warning us about this AI." and then you use this one. I was like, I said, look, I said, I'm like Noah, man. I told y'all the rain was coming, and then that motherfucker come. I got the boat there. Now I'm just chilling there. So, but but I said mostly I won't talk about this type of AI because this is like watered down AI. The shit we use, this shit watered down. I'm
Oh
talking
yeah.
about AI robots. I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
humanoids. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about the shit that you had, the series that you have, the Lexus you have in your house,
Mm-hmm.
the way they can track you through all this stuff. But then
Mm-hmm.
everybody's going to have androids in their house to, it's a lot of other things that they. So I'm gonna get into this technology of what the future is about to come and look like.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I know Brother Emerson, he was watching. It's Sunday night. A lot of people got to go to work tomorrow morning. So literally, this is
Yeah,
like a hard night you know,
I'm gonna
to
break
look
down.
at.
I'm gonna break down AI. Then I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna put all that on the show. AI, Gender X, what Gender X is, like
Oh yeah, I want to hear that Gen
how
X.
they have racing agendas. Pregnant. How men that turn women. I don't know if I want to use the, I don't know if I want to use the T word. You know what I'm saying? But the men born biological men that turn women, how they're going to end up being pregnant in the future or can be pregnant by women donating their uterus to them. So I'm gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
about these things too.
It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be
Cause just
interesting.
imagine you would mess with somebody and you found out it was a boy for real and now he pregnant. I mean, what's gonna happen?
I don't think he's gonna be around long. That's
That's
funny.
what I'm saying. Like this is a dangerous thing they mess with right there. Not only trick me there. I got a baby baby. That's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, you know how it is. This is orange, man. We can get deep, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know that.
I'm about to work on that right now. Matter of fact, I'm about to work on that. I'm about to work. I'm gonna put all three of that together. I'm gonna work on that.
Yeah.
After after I don't got my presentation, I want to talk about.
Yeah. Well, still gotta
I ain't
come
gonna get
back with that
disrespectful
statement.
because you could be whatever you want to be. I ain't not gonna talk about
Yeah.
what you want to be. I'm just gonna
They can
talk
be who they
about the
want.
dangers of it, and basically that's what I'm just talking about the dangers of it. If because by you changing genders, by you giving, I put it this way, I'm just gonna say this. Then we go. If you born as gender X, and then this other person born as gender X, but both of my men, right? That means they don't have to claim that they was males. So if they end up messing with each other, they don't have to say they're homosexuals anymore because they're not considered males. So this is a danger in that too.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I say, the elite boy,
yeah,
the wicked boy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all I can
yeah.
say.
Yeah, I'm about to go work on that right now. Shit, you got me something. I'm about to get on it as soon as we get off here.
All right. Well, to the viewers and to the future viewers and to those that was not able to view that while we're live, the show's gonna always still be here. So all I can say is peace.
Peace, peace.
DOA.
Did you ever get the other song yet?
Oh yeah, I got it. I
Yeah,
got it.
play that one for me.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't have
know.
it. I don't have it added
Oh,
on
okay,
on here
okay.
yet because I was waiting for. I'm waiting for you when you ready to do your. You know what I'm saying? We
Oh,
waiting.
okay, okay.
We waiting. We
Yeah.
waiting.
yeah, I'm gonna have it this week. I'm about to work
All
on it
right.
tonight.
All right.
All right, peace,
All right.
peace.
Peace.